I am Joseph Chung, a partner of the Construction Practice Group in Deacons. Welcome to our department's series of short video clips on construction law. In this video clip, I will highlight some of the important points to bear in mind when preparing adjudication documents under the Security of Payment Provision framework. As you all know, on 5 October 2021, the Development Bureau issued Technical Circular Works Number 6 of 2021, Security of Payment Provisions in Public Works Contracts. The circular states to set out the policy on the implementation of security of payment provisions in public works contracts, with a view to facilitating timely processing of contract payments and providing an interim mechanism for speedy resolution of payment disputes before the enactment of the security of payment legislation. So what is the interim mechanism for a speedy resolution of payment dispute? It is adjudication. Adjudication is not a new invention in Hong Kong. Its existence goes as far back as to the time of the Airport Core Program 30 years ago, when the ACP Standard Form included an adjudication provision in its multi-tier dispute resolution clause. Indeed, the adjudication process was used in a number of ACP-related disputes. The judgment of one of UK's first adjudication cases that went to the courts nicely summarizes the nature of adjudication. A speedy mechanism for settling disputes in construction contracts on a provisional basis, and requiring the decisions of adjudicators to be enforced, pending the final determination of disputes by arbitration, litigation, or agreement. The timetable for adjudication is very tight. So far as procedure is concerned, the adjudicator is given a fairly free hand. He is permitted to take the initiative in ascertaining the facts and the law. He may therefore conduct an entirely inquisitorial process, or he may invite representations from the parties. The overriding theme is quick justice. Under the SOPP, the notice of adjudication needs to be served within 28 days of the payment dispute arising. The adjudication submission needs to be served within 1 working day of the adjudicator nominating body appointing the adjudicator. Thereafter, the respondent will have 20 working days to serve their adjudication response. A tight time frame it is, but we still need to exercise great care when preparing these documents. Let's start off with the notice of adjudication. The SOPP specifically requires the notice to be in writing, identify, describe the claimant and the respondent, the relevant payment claim, and any payment response, the nature and description of the payment dispute, the claimed amount, and remedy sought. In addition, you should also bear in mind the following. The notice of adjudication is perhaps the most important document in the adjudication process. It defines the dispute that the adjudicator has to decide. Therefore, any jurisdictional issues regarding the adjudicator will be considered by reference to the nature, scope, and extent of the dispute set out in the Notice of Adjudication. It is also important to bear in mind that the notice cannot be amended during the adjudication. Errors in the Notice of Adjudication cannot be rectified in the subsequent adjudication submission. Therefore, it is important to get it right from the start. To make sure that you have got your Notice of Adjudication right, you may wish to consider preparing the adjudication submission first, or at least its framework, so that you know what the Notice of Adjudication needs to cover. So what about the adjudication submission and the adjudication response? The SOPP requires them to be in writing. In the case of adjudication submission, to identify the Notice of Adjudication to which it relates. In case of the adjudication response, the respondent's reply to the adjudication submission. In the case of both the adjudication submission and the adjudication response, to contain any supporting documents and evidence that the claimant or the respondent, as the case may be, considers relevant to the adjudication. A couple of practical tips. The adjudication submission and response may be the only opportunity for a party to present its case in detail and to persuade the adjudicator. The adjudication submission and response should be prepared in a similar format to pleadings in an arbitration. This means that they should set out the dispute, how it arose, the facts relied upon, and annex supporting documentation. When you prepare the document, ask yourself this question. Does the submission contain all arguments and evidence needed to persuade the adjudicator? In the case of the adjudication submission, is it consistent with the Notice of Adjudication? The adjudication submission and response should specifically cross-refer to documents annexed. You need to take the adjudicator to the documents. Remember, the adjudicator is under a time constraint. You simply cannot assume that the documents are self-explanatory. This comes to my last point. Annex only relevant documents. All of us in the local construction industry will need time to adapt to the adjudication process for resolving payment disputes. In the event that you do get involved in adjudication, at Deacons, we will be able to provide you with representation, strategic advice, help prepare the adjudication documents, and attend any oral hearings in the process. A number of our team members are also qualified adjudicators. If you have any questions, always feel free to give us a call or to drop us an email. Thank you for watching this video. Until next time, take care.